All right. At 2, here we go. We've got 7-4, special right triangles. This time we're going to do 30, 60, 90 triangles. Make sure you put your name and your period on your paper. So our question today is, in a 30, 60, 90 triangle, the b root 3 side is equal to 15. How do you find the shortest side of the triangle? So we've already done one special right triangle pattern. We did the 45, 45, 90 pattern, which was a right isosceles triangle. And we saw that the pattern of the legs was A, and then the hypotenuse was A root 2. So we're going to look at a second pattern here called the 30, 60, 90 pattern. And 30, 60, 90 is just half of a equilateral triangle. So if I had an equilateral triangle over here, let's make an equilateral triangle. That was really bad. It's getting better. All right, let's say this is an equilateral triangle. Now we know in an equilateral triangle, all the sides are the same and all the angles are the same. And we learned that they were all 60-degree angles because triangle sum theorem says they have to all add up to 180 degrees. So that's an equilateral triangle. Now, if I cut this in half right down the middle, this would be 90 degrees right there. So I cut the triangle in half, which means I also cut this angle in half up here. So this 60-degree angle up here is only a 30-degree angle now. So that's where we're getting the 30, 60, 90 from, is by cutting this equilateral triangle in half. Now think of this. If this side over here is 2, and this side was 2, and this side was 2, well, when I cut this triangle in half, this side would now be 1. And so what we see here is that this side here is 1, and this side here, the hypotenuse, is twice that amount. It's double the amount. It's 2 up there. Now, if we did the Pythagorean Theorem, and we wanted to find out what this part was, let's just call this B right here. If this is 1 and this is 2, we could do the Pythagorean Theorem, do b squared plus 1 squared equals 2 squared. So we'd get b squared plus 1 equals 4. So b squared would have to be equal to 3. So take the square root, and b would be the square root of 3. So we see this side here ends up being the square root of 3. And that's really the pattern. That this side would be 1, this side would be root 3, and this side would be 2. But remember, these are all similar triangles. So if we blow them up, we would multiply all these by the same number. If we shrink them down, we divide by the same number. So we do a pattern for this. The shortest side is always going to be opposite the 30-degree angle, and we'll just call that B. So that's like this one side right there. So in the case of what we did over there, B is equal to 1. So the hypotenuse is always going to be twice that amount, because remember, it's half of a equilateral triangle. So this would be twice that amount, so twice B. And then the middle, the medium-sized side, the one across from the 60-degree angle, would be B times root 3. Now in this situation, B was 1, so this is 1 times root 3, or just root 3. So that's our pattern for a 30, 60, 90 triangle. The short side, let's do it purple. The short side, we're going to call B. The medium side, that's the side opposite the 60-degree angle, is going to be B times root 3. And then the hypotenuse is going to be 2B. So remember, this short one is the leg, and this medium one is also a leg. And then the hypotenuse will always be 2 in the pattern. So 2B in the pattern. All right, so let's use that to solve these problems. So the first thing you want to do is identify what everything is. So I've got a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So this is my short leg over here because it's opposite. Remember, the smallest angle makes the smallest side. So this is my short side. So I'm going to call this side B. This is my hypotenuse over here. So I'm going to call this side 2B. And then this is my longest leg because it's opposite the 60-degree angle. So I'm going to call that one B root 3. So in this pattern, I notice that B is equal to 5. So now anytime I see B, I can just plug in 5. So X is the B root 3 side. And we just said that B was 5, so X must be 5 root 3, or 5 times root 3. The Y side is 2 times B. But we just said that B was 5, so 2 times 5, that side would be 10. And now we see that the hypotenuse is twice the length of the smallest leg. All right, next one. Okay, so here's my hypotenuse. So that's definitely going to be 2B. So I'm going to write that down. That's 2B. All right, which one's my shortest leg? Well, here's the smallest angle, and this must be the smallest leg. So this one is B. Then over here, this one would be my B root 3 side. Okay, so I want to find out what B is. Right now, I know that B root 3 is equal to 2 root 3. But I really want to know what B is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by root 3. Okay, so when I divide by root 3, the root 3's cancel. And over here, remember, radicals can reduce with radicals. So those cancel out. So this tells me that B is equal to 2. So now to solve for X, X is B. And I said that B was 2, so X is going to be 2. Y was 2B. So 2 times B, and B is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So there's my answers for those. Okay, so those are pretty basic. Let's get a little bit harder down here on these last two problems. Okay, again, we're going to start by labeling our sides. Okay, so the hypotenuse, that's the biggest side over here. So that's going to be 2B. My smallest leg is always going to be made by the smallest angle. So that's this side over here. That's going to be my B side. And then my biggest leg over here is going to be made by the 60-degree angle. So this is going to be B times root 3. So right now, I know that 2B is equal to 18. So again, I want to know what B is. So I'm just going to divide by 2. And B must be equal to 9. Okay, now I can figure out what X and Y is. X would be equal to B, and B we just said is 9. Y is equal to B root 3. B's 9, so I'm just going to plug 9 in there, and I would get 9 root 3. All right, let's see if it gets harder. Last one. Okay, hypotenuse, it's over here this time. So this is 2B. My shortest leg is this one because the 30-degree angle is making that side. So that's B. And this side is B root 3. Okay, so how am I going to do this? Well, B root 3 equals 6. So I'm going to write B root 3 equals 6. Okay, I want to find out what B is. So just like above here, we divided by root 3. So I'm going to divide by root 3, divide by root 3. The root 3's reduce here, and I get that B is equal to 6 over root 3. But remember our rule, we can't have a radical in the denominator. So how do I rationalize that denominator? Remember, we multiplied by 1. In this instance, that means we're going to multiply by root 3 over root 3, because that's still 1, right? Right. So we get 6 root 3, and then root 3 times root 3 is 3. Now I can reduce this one. The radical doesn't reduce with the whole number, but whole numbers reduce with whole numbers. So 3 goes into 3 once, and it goes into 6 twice. So this tells me that b is going to be equal to 2 root 3. So now I can solve for x and y. Forgot to switch colors on that last one. All right, so x is equal to b, and b is 2 root 3. So that's what x is going to be, 2 root 3. Let's do y. Y is equal to 2b. What are we going to do for this one? Well, let's see. 2 times b. b is 2 root 3. So 2 times 2 root 3. Remember, the whole numbers multiply, or the integers multiply with each other. So those two are going to multiply, and I get 4 root 3 as my answer for y. The end. All right, that's all I got for you. Math hard. Oh, don't forget to answer this question. So the b root 3 side is equal to 15. It's a little bit like this one. The b root 3 side was equal to 6. All right, so what are the steps that you're going to take to find the shortest side? The shortest side is b. But anyways, so write that as your summary. Just tell me the steps. I don't need to know what the actual answer is. Just tell me how you would find the answer for the shortest side. All right, that's all I got for you. Math hard. See you later. Bye-bye.